Hello everyone, welcome back. Last time we had discussed the usage of CGM devices in our daily routine to help us understand the impact of food items and what happens to our glucose levels. So we had applied the CGM device Freestyle Libre sensor. Today we are going to have a look at the app and see the interface and also understand how can we make the best use of it. And later on we'll try to compare the different interfaces of apps, for example Freestyle Libre Sensor, Dexcom G7 and Sibionics, and find out which one is much more user friendly. Let's have a look. Now the next step is to find the correct app. If you go on your Play Store, you will be able to search the apps by typing Freestyle Libre. Now the App Store needs to be from the country of residence because my App Store is from the UK, so you can see it is coming as Freestyle Libre link GB. We need AE, which is Arab Emirates, for United Arab Emirates. I've already changed my App Store and installed this, so I will move to the correct app. Let me just when you first time install the app, you may need to just confirm the privacy. And here you go. We're just going to scan the new sensor here to make sure it's working. So as I have scanned the sensor, it is getting ready. Oops, it says it wasn't. So bring it back. Here you go. When the sensor has been scanned, the screen will change to this yellow screen telling you that it's going to be ready in 1 hour. After that, the screen will change and it will show you the glucose readings. Once you have set up the Freestyle Libre sensor, you can see the home screen here. And at the bottom, you see this is a green zone where the glucose levels are shown. And there are breaks here because I have not used the sensor regularly today. So you do have to open the app to ensure that your data is fully captured. Otherwise, you can use the NFC scanning like I'm doing it now to ensure that the sensor is connected, and as I've done the scan, you see the whole data has been fully captured. So you can make sure that you are providing your clinician the full information. Now let's have a look at some of the options here on the menu. We have got the home screen, which is visible here, and that gives you an option to add notes. For example, I'm just adding a note here that this is after a meal, or it is just a fasting state. Because I have not had lunch. I'm adding the note again. You can edit the note if you are not certain. Let's say someone has had an apple or whatever you've eaten. You can later on cross-check the effects of food items on your glucose levels. Now, these notes will not be visible on the home screen, but you can always go on the logbook and have a look at these notes. As you see on the logbook, we have got these notes visible here: fasting or apple. Similarly, last night, for example, I played some cricket. There was a pizza, Baskin Robbins ice cream, so this mic came over there. And this way you can see the impact of your daily activity as well as your eating habits on your sugar levels. What's the other best screen that I like to see is the daily graph. So the daily graph gives me a 24-hour span of the sugar levels every single day. These are the 24-hour sugar levels for each individual day as you click on the top. Now, one thing is important, that we don't want to have gaps, so we have to be a bit meticulous in looking at the app and also doing the scans if it has been missed. Now, you can see when the sensor is initiated, there are a lot of reds, and that is because of the calibration. We do not have to panic about the reds if someone is not on any medications. This is absolutely normal phenomenon. It is only relevant for those people who are on insulin. Now, these reds are usually showing that the sensor is gathering data to capture the correct glucose levels, and after 24 to 48 hours it becomes completely normal. Now this is my normal day when I normally do not eat anything during the clinic. It's kind of boiled eggs in the breakfast time and then one big meal at the night, so you see a bigger spike at the evening time. Otherwise the levels are absolutely in a flat profile. Now the other thing which is important here is to ensure that you do set some reminders for yourself. I've already set some reminders here to remind us about the glucose levels to be checked on the app, because the purpose of this device is to help you not only understand but also make proactive changes. And a reminder is just done by clicking at the bottom. You can choose a time. Usually in 24 hours, if you have set 3 reminders, it is usually enough. So you can choose any time which would not be too much disturbing for you and make it repeat recurring. And this way a reminder will come every day at the same time, so that you can actually switch on or switch off according to your needs. And this reminder will help you capture not only the full data, but would also help you make proactive changes, and we will have no gaps. There's also an option of alarms, and I'm mostly interested in the high alarms than the low alarms for people who are not on any medications, because we're looking at these devices as a utility for helping us manage our weight and glucose levels, which are high. And this is without using any medications. So you only need to set the alarm for high, not for low. And I'm keeping a very tight range. I wish I had the option to drop it further down, but I'm keeping it at 120. So if any level goes above 120, it means it's a time for action to avoid that carbohydrate, and keep your glucose levels absolutely flat as far as possible by adding more protein and fiber in your diet. This is how I have implemented the FPC eating habits. So the fiber, the protein, and the carbohydrate at the end, they allow things to be very flat, and not only just enjoy the carbs, but not big spikes. Now you see at the green graph at the back is quite wide, which is for conventional diabetes management. It reaches till 180. We want to narrow it down, because this is mainly something we're looking for weight management or very tight control. So I'm just dropping this down to 115. And this way you will see that the interface at the back has now changed. If we go on the home screen, we have got a very narrow green zone and a dotted red line as well, which is telling you that if you cross that level, you may see an alarm. I have got some low readings shown up on the screen. I'm not worried about that, because this is kind of fasting state, and as I'm not hungry, I'm not going to act on them just by looking at the number. So please don't treat a number, treat yourself. And at the bottom you see there is an option telling you that the sensor ends in 7 days. So technically the sensor can actually count down the days which are left for the utility of the sensor. If the sensor kind of falls off or stops functioning before that, you can always get a free replacement from the Abbott team. Next time I'll hopefully show you the interface of Dexcom device, and we'll see what are the interfaces as well as the functionalities of the other CGM devices, including Sibionics. Not to forget that this device can, and most of the others, can also be connected to your clinician as well. As you see, there's an option of connected apps, which is quite easy if you're not connected to anyone, and you would have an option to connect to practice if you have the practice ID of your clinician. For example, my practice ID is Jawad Bashir, which is my name. So I can actually connect it, and it says you are already connected to this practice, which is visible here. And this way I can remotely see these glucose readings without having the need for the mobile device to be available with me. So let's make the best use of technology and ensure that we are able to not only understand our eating habits, but also our daily patterns and our trends, and make proactive changes to select healthy food items, and at the same time enjoy our food, because if you are able to enjoy your food, it's more sustainable on the long term to give you an excellent health benefit. Best wishes.